Hello, everybody. So excited. I feel so much better. If any of you were watching last night when I did Life and Numerology, I feel so much better. Look, I have my eyelashes on. Hey, Kelsey. Hey, Becky. Kelsey, I hope you're feeling good today, too. Right? I went to another dentist today. I did a bunch of Reiki. I also did some light therapy. I've been rinsing with some salt water, um, which again, is salt that I've had out in the moon. I know all of you are surprised by that little revelation, right? So it's been a really much better day. And look, the swelling is down on my face. It's still a little, it's mostly swollen on the inside, so, and my cat's covering up his face. Hey, Catlin. Um, okay, you guys, I'm so excited about this. I really want to talk about cedar tonight. There's so many wonderful, wonderful things about cedar. I want to also point out a couple of different varieties and substitutions. Lots of good stuff here. So there are several different varieties, and I have a variety in my yard. It's called. Hang on just a second. I wrote this down because I knew I was going to forget it, and I forgot to write it down. Wait a minute. Eastern Red Cedar. So that's the variety that is in my yard. I also have a juniper bush. Now they are very similar, okay? They are very similar. This is the juniper. I know you guys can't really see like up close. And this is the Eastern Red Cedar. Now, the Eastern Red Cedar is what we use in place of the traditional cedar, the one that originated, I believe, in Lebanon. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it is Lebanon. So, I want to tell you a little bit of history. Again, you know how I am. I want to tell you a little bit of history about this. Then I want to tell you about these two fabulous stores that I went to today. Well, actually, one I went to earlier this week. I went to one today. So, but still, fabulous stores. If you're in the Atlanta area, especially if you're on the west side of Atlanta like I am. So, okay. All right. So, cedar. Biblical. Let's talk about that first. I mean, even though not all of us are, follow the Christian religion, a lot of us here are pagan, we still generally know a lot about the Bible, right? Okay, so the biblical is cedar was used to make the Ark of the Covenant. Now, even if you're not like you haven't been raised in the Christian tradition, I think you've at least seen the Indiana Jones movies. Am I right? I mean, the Ark of the Covenant. Yeah. Okay. So made out of cedar. Mm-hmm. The Latin arbor vitae means the tree of life, right? And I'm a big fan of the tree of life. I have it all over the joint. I mean, I love the tree of life. So, in like ancient religions, just like I would say before Christianity, it was called the world tree. In Sanskrit, it's called the timber of the gods. In Hebrew, it's called, I'm going to say this wrong, Qatar, Qatar. And the old Jewish customs, like burned cedar on the new year to celebrate. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Becky. Um, the Celts believed cedar to be the tree of life. There's another one. Um, hoodoo. is also a form of an African religion. It's more like an American African, like, twist. At least from what I've read, I'm not an expert here. But hoodoo. Cedar is used when well meaning power or kind action is needed. You okay back there, Jasmine? Can you guys see Jasmine tonight? Everybody's always like, are you making her up? Yeah, she's a ghost. She's stepping around tonight. Native Americans used sweetgrass, tobacco, cedar, and sage as part of their power four. Their healing and cleansing four. They primarily used it in sweat lodges, not just to clear the space, but also the people. I'm going to get back to that a little more. So, cedar is widely used in purification, healing, protection, bringing in money. It promotes peaceful thoughts. It helps interpret messages from spirit, our inner selves, our guides, whatever it is that's trying to get through to us. And sometimes we need those messages interpreted because we're like, what did you say now? At least I say that to my guides all the time. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? You want me to do what? Yeah. I'm that girl. It's used on spiritual quests. It helps us when we're in a spiritual quest. It reconnects us and grounds us with earthly roots. It also helps us to build confidence and gives us courage. This is a lot of jobs for one kind of tree. So again, if you're wanting to use cedar and all you can get a hold of is Eastern Red Cedar, go to it. Juniper can be used in a pinch, not cypress, okay? Cypress is the tree of death. There's nothing wrong with that. You have to have an angel of death, right? And cedar is the tree of life. So we do have some parallels here, all right? Just making sure that you guys know that. So as I'm flipping in my notes, but so if you're wanting to use another substitution, definitely try Juniper. It's similar. This one, the Latin name for the Eastern Red Cedar is actually like Juniperus vigilala something. I don't know. Hang on. I'll tell you exactly what it is. Because guess what I pulled out again? Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. I have had this on the show many, many times. It is a go-to for me. I have worn out several copies. And, sometimes they just have to be replaced. Like when they get left out in the rain by accident. Oopsie. Okay. So, hang on. So the replacement is Juniperus virginia. That's an interesting one. That's what's used in place of cedar, but that's the Latin name. The name of it is Eastern Red Cedar. But I have both in my yard because the juniper actually protects from something similar but a little different. It's protection, but it's also anti-theft. It helps bring in love, health, and junipers are used in exorcisms. I don't really want to do a exorcism, so that doesn't sound like fun. Does that sound like fun to you guys? I've used a couple of a red cedar a couple of times mixed with a few other things. I was trying to do that. Oh my gosh. See, Catlin, you were doing it, you were doing that intuitively. I keep, you can see, here's a couple of twigs that I just had that were extra, but you can see in my mixture here, I have cedar, I have sage, I have rose petals. Um, I kind of create my own. And I think that that's great. I think it's wonderful because you are doing that intuitively. You were following your intuition, Catlin. So that's brilliant. It's perfect. And that's also the thing here is that we want to, we want to increase like our connection and our messages from spirit. And using cedar is a really wonderful way to help that. Okay. So, the Native Americans also used this in several different ways. They used it to help clairvoyance, revitalize tired bodies, minds, and spirits, guard against. I'm sorry, I wrote all this down really quickly. It protects. Yeah, we know that. Longevity, but it's also used in charms and incense for these things. So I have some incense here to show you as well. But I love that it's used in like charms, little pockets, little pouches, things that we have made on this show, right? And then here's another one that we made on this show. Okay, I really like red. I have a thing about red. Okay. The cedar oils were used for muscle aches, colds, and congestion. Cedar and sage tea, like mixed together, cleanses the body of all infection. And it's used in baths. Hey, Courtney! I haven't forgotten about you. I did read your message earlier. I'm getting there, I swear. So it's used in baths. So if we're using it in a bath, and especially if you live if you live in city water or a septic tank, it doesn't matter. If you're going to put any kind of herbs in your bath, please use a pouch. And I'm looking to see if I brought it down to the office. I did not, but I have one that's similar. Use a muslin bag. Or, even, honestly, I use, sometimes I cut up old pantyhose and tights. If they have a hole in them, I want to find something else that I can use them for. So I cut them up and I, tie it up on, each end. And I fill it full of herbs or whatever to put in my bath. That way, our herbs are not going down the drain. And it's not clogging things up. And it's not making a mess. Not only that, once you've used the energy of it, you can spread it around in your yard. Even if you live in an apartment, there's got to be some foliage around there somewhere, right? And you can just dump it out. So it's kind of nice. So if you're putting together a bath, and I think we've talked about things like this on the show before, if you're putting any kind of herbs or any kind of solid pieces of things in your bath, make sure that you put it in a bag or in a piece of net. Or I also use cheesecloth. That's really awesome. Yeah. So but let me tell you, when you get a hole in those pantyhose, there's a wonderful thing you can use them for. Instead of just being pissed that you bought them or that you bought tights and they got a run in them. What a hassle, right? So lots of good stuff, right? Lots of good stuff to use here. So here's some ways to use it. Of course you can burn it, right? Of course you can put it in your smudge. And you guys know I have harped and harped and harped on this. If you are going to smudge with sage, you need to put something good behind it. You need to put something with it. Because if you just smudge with sage, You're clearing the space. You're getting rid of everything. And that's good because space needs to be cleared, right? But if you don't replace that empty space with something good, because nature abhors a vacuum, if you don't replace that energy with something good, the same energy can come back in. Why? Because we're still in that space and we're human and we're going to try, like, bring in all kinds of detritus with us all the time. So it's a good idea when you smudge a space, and this is what I do when I do house clearings for people. They always wonder, like, why it costs so much. It's hard energy, right? It's hard energy work because you're trying to clear out all the negative stuff, but you've got to replace it with something good. So I keep other things in, like, in my shell, in my abalone shell, like, stuff that's positive as well. So my friend Carrie, and I'm going to put her thing down here at the bottom. She makes some really fantastic smudge powder. If you are ever interested, there you go. If you are ever interested in, oh, for Pete's sake, sorry, I clicked off the chat. If you're ever interested in buying smudge powder that is responsibly sourced, she's your girl. Okay. There's a couple of other people too. One is on Instagram as Doll Baby Witchery. She does some amazing stuff, and all of her stuff is responsibly sourced, and all of her stuff is good for the environment. So she only used, like, biodegradable glitter when she puts glitter in her stuff. Just things to think about, okay? Because I only make it for myself. I don't make stuff to sell like this. I know. I'm probably just lazy. I mean, it's a lot of energy to make that stuff. So I want to talk about, like, again, how to use all of this. So using cedar, of course, as a smudge, but using it in conjunction with sage is fantastic. And I found an incense the other day that has white sage and cedar together. It's a really great smelling incense too. And I love that it gives you, like, a really great explanation on the back. That like, cedar's been using cleansing rituals and healing rites. And its smoke is said to attract the good spirits and eliminate the negative energies. And white sage, of course, is a purifier. It's used in ceremonies, healing sessions to cleanse the space or a person of all evil spirits and negative energies. So it's a really great combination because we are replacing we're clearing out bad energy, yes, but it's just like when you go on a diet. It's just like when you go on a diet. You're getting rid of all the junk food, right? You're getting rid of all the stuff that you're not supposed to have out of your cabinets. But if you don't replace it with the stuff that you're supposed to be eating, what's going to go back in there? Yeah, the damn cupcakes. Am I right? Or the donuts. My personal favorite. So, sorry, there's actually a telemarketer calling me right now. I should really answer it and be funny, shouldn't I? Live with Juniper and a telemarketer. Hey, Diane, how are you? So, this is a fantastic, usually rosemary is my go-to with a lot of stuff because I also grow rosemary, but cedar is fantastic. So if you're ever hiking in the woods and you come across a cedar tree, or if you are in a metaphysical store and you can buy some cedar, this is really wonderful. But if you come across a cedar tree, here's what you want to do. You want to, like, pull some of the bark off of the tree. You don't need a lot, but of course I pulled a lot so that you guys could see what, maybe I should add the other camera on so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, so the bark, let me tell you, the bark is so great because you put a little piece of this bark in your purse, in your wallet, is going to help you draw in money. Ha! Boy, I got some people's attention then, didn't I? So not only is cedar a purifier, but it also helps bring in money. Well, now isn't that just fabulous? Love it. Hang on. What else did I have? Oh, that's pine. So I wanted to show you guys like all the different ways, all the different things that you can use. Oils, of course. There's essential oils. Excuse me. Where did I? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I have cedar wood essential oil. There's also a different ones. You can get a juniper. You don't have to get it through doTERRA, of course, but I do have several from doTERRA. I have the where's my other oils, Badger? What did you do with them? It's Mercury retrograde. What can I say? So this is really, using the essential oil, especially in a diffuser, will of course do the same thing. Will put that energy out there and clear your area, clear everything. So I've been doing so much work in my office, and like so much work is going on, and having like everything sort of cordoned off, and I'm trying to clear the space, trying to keep up and make sure that the space is clean. And it's really hard to do that when there's like, you feel like there's so much energy like floating around, and some of it you can't control. So when people are in and out of your space and you're just like, I can't really, I can't control their energy. So I do make sure to clear all the time. But I have a diffuser. I have a diffuser right here that I usually have going like all the time. And unfortunately, it does leave like, I don't want to say particles, but it leaves like a little mist over everything that's close to it. And one of my altars is very close to it. So I'm like constantly dusting it these days. That, and every time I spray air freshener, or every time I like spray my hair before I go on, it seems to collect on my altar. My poor altar. It's bad. Oh, that's great, Diane. I'm glad that there's some good stuff that's happening. Mind-blowing ways, rather. That's what she said. Okay, so using a little bit of cedar bark in your wallet, in your, like, really near your money, keeping that replenished in there is going to be fantastic. And it's really going to add, it's going to help you bring in some money. It's going to change the vibration of your wallet. Like, you're not going to feel like there's moths in there anymore. Yeah. So I went to some awesome stores in, on this side of town, in Marietta and in Austell. The one in Marietta is called Heart, Soul, and Art. And that's where I found the, white sage and cedar. And I had to go in there several times this week. It was just really, it's great energy. They have some really wonderful people working there. And these two young women that helped me, oh my gosh, they were so hilarious. And I really wish I could remember their names. Y'all know I'm bad with names. But I think one of them was named Kit. I'm pretty sure. And the other one, maybe Michelle. I'm so bad with the names, but they were so awesome. They were just so incredibly helpful and it was wonderful. So I bought, about some other things there because, we have this new moon in Libra coming up on Sunday. And as of tonight, Eastern Standard Time, 9:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when the sun moves into Libra. So we are looking at a lot of balance, right? So I went in there and I bought myself an athame, a new one. This is a gold sheen obsidian athame. I've really been trying to work out some balance. I've been trying to release. I've been trying to get rid of some negative detritus that I've collected just in my lovely 50 years on this planet. So I've been working through that. And so balance is so key because I'm using the selenite and now I am using the gold sheened obsidian. And these are they're so pretty. I'll switch the camera back on. They're so pretty. And look at that. I mean, it's just so lovely, the balance. And of course, they had a larger one of the gold sheen obsidian, but I can't afford it right now. But it's okay. I may be able to afford it in a couple of weeks. You never know, right? But this is really wonderful. And I mean, look at that. It's just so lovely. And I stood there like feeling the energy to make sure that this is like what I was wanting. I went in for a second time to make sure this is what I was wanting. And this is perfect because now I can cut cords. And I can also do this with my clients, like cutting the cords and using this like together in tandem. Because if you're cutting the light cords, you also need to cut the shadow cords, as you've heard Mystic Lee say several times when she's been a guest on my different shows, or if you follow her. Shadows are important, right? So cutting the cords to the light and the shadow is important, and it is a good ritual to have. So I've got a lot of rituals that I'm doing in this new moon in Libra, and the biggest one is like I'm like clearing out, and that's what precipitated all the cedar. See, you knew there was something, didn't you? You just knew it. So with the cedar, I want to tell you guys how you can really use this. And then I do want to read you a couple of things out of the Cunningham's because it's such a great book. I mean, really. Christmas is just around the corner, people. Get yourself one of these. Okay. So what you want to do, first of all, anytime you're putting together a smudge, whether it's a powder that you're going to, whether it's something you're going to grind up and make into a powder, whether you're putting it in an abalone shell, whether, what you're putting it in, it doesn't even matter. If you're using plants, you need to thank the plant. Okay? Always thank the plant. Tell the plant what you're doing with it. Even if it's roses that were given to me as a present and I use them in like my rose petal smudge because they were given to me like as a thoughtful present and with love, then I use them in that, but I tell the roses what I'm doing with them. Okay, well, bye, Diane. Thank you. So I always thank them. When I worked in the labs a long time ago, when I would be teaching students how to dissect, I always made them thank the animals because those animals gave up their lives so that these students could learn systems and hopefully go on to be doctors and nurses and dentists and, chiropractors, whatever. But, those animals gave up their lives so that these students could learn. It's the same with the plant, because when you're cutting up the plant or you're cutting a piece of the plant off, that part of the plant that you've cut up is like this is now no longer part of the living organism, right? I mean, it's still alive, and if I put it in water, I could probably root it, right? But it's something that I'm going to use, and so I thank the plant and tell it what I'm doing with it. And then I say, like, this is how I'm using you. I'm using you for protection. I'm using you for clearing. I need my space cleansed. I need all of that. And this is very important that you do that and explain, because it is a living thing. This is crazy. I have a regular black obsidian athame next to my selenite one. Catlin, oh my gosh. There is a reason why we're connected. Catlin, that is so awesome. But it's balance. It's about balance. And that's what Libra is all about, right? Libra is all about balance. I mean, think about the Libras that you know. When things are out of balance with that Libra, what happens? Something messes up with their stomach. You know? So this is a time of balance. We're in a 6 year. 2022 is a 6 year. It's all about harmony and balance. So that's what we're looking for here. And that's what I wanted to do with all of this. So I am bringing this in on the autumn equinox, the fall equinox, because the equinox is so, this is so, such a great day. It's a new season. So that's new beginnings. It's a fresh start. So who doesn't want to clear and cleanse during that fresh start? Oh, Vanessa, really? When things are out of balance with your mom, does it mess up her stomach? I'm just curious. So this is a great time to cleanse the body, spirit, and mind to feel refreshed and ready for the new season. This is celebrating cycles, growth, harvest, death, and rebirth. We're also moving into winter, so this is going to be a slower pace. We're not at winter yet, but we're slowing down our pace, right? Fall is a step down from the busyness of summer. So it's a slower pace, so we have time for more reflection, deeper thoughts. We can express our gratitude. We can give thanks. You know, yeah, Catlin, it's like this with a lot of different numerology signs and some zodiac signs, that if they're not expressing their gifts or if they're not living in their gifts, they have a lot of like illnesses, like headaches, kidney stones. My husband had kidney stones until I was like, what are you not doing? He absolutely hates that. I mean, Dr. Seuss is just like, are you kidding me with this shit? Do you have to keep talking to me like that? Yeah, I do. So, what I'm doing is I'm cutting a lot of cords here. Making some balance, but I'm cutting the cords with both. So I'm cutting both the light and the dark connections with these people, places, or things. With all the nouns. The negative nouns. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's awesome. The negative nouns. I'm sorry. I make myself laugh. Like, I crack myself up so much on this show. So today I went to another news store near me, and it is called, hang on, Pure Intentions Brie, and it's in Austell, so it's not far from me. It's very conveniently located. So thank you, Brie, for conveniently locating your store. But I got some really awesome cedar incense from them. And by the way, they had some amazing crystals in that store. And I was like, okay, I need to go crazy, but I don't. Like, I was just like, I even told this wonderful woman in there, Gianna, I think was her name. She was so great. She was really, she was a Scorpio that was in tune. You know what I'm saying? And she was right on top of it. They were like doing it like a kind of store reset, but she still had it together, man. And so she's in there and telling me about, you know, all the stuff that they have, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I want this and I want this and I want this, but this is what it came for. And I'm not gonna go crazy with the money. Even though I really wanted to. It was a fantastic store though. And everything was just, it was beautifully priced. It was beautifully set and really great selection. So that is Pure Intentions Brie, and it's on Powder Springs Road. And it's BRE. And it's pretty awesome. They're expanding actually. So that should tell you something. I'm telling you, these metaphysical stores. But, I mean, because some metaphysical stores you walk into and you're just like, nope, not in this, right? And you're just like, I'm out. So, but the Cedar Incense works just as well. And in fact, most of the money drawing incenses that you see are the little cone things. I thought I had some cones because I don't have cedar cones, but I was going to show you what the cones look like. I think you guys know what the incense cones look like. Oh, okay, here. I have some myrrh ones. There's a spider. So this is what the cones look like incense cones. And you just light them and they just burn down. So these are really awesome. So you can get these in cedar as well, but most of the money drawing or money attract, like incense or cones, have a lot of cedar in them. Most of them. So keep that in mind. I just like to use what I can find. So. Oh, absolutely, Vanessa. There's a lot. There's several stores that I walk into and I'm like, it may look really pretty and they may have like some decent stuff, and I go in and I'm like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling good here. There's one store here in Atlanta that it's like they must have changed employees or something. Because there for a while, like I would walk into the store and I would just be like, no, no. And I would just leave and not ever like getting what I came in there for. And then all of a sudden one day I like heard it was fine to go back there, and I went back and I was like, okay, all right. So I do try to give them, like some of the stores that I go into, if I don't dig them the first time, I try to go back and just see like what the hubbub was about. Just to make sure. Maybe they cleansed the place. I don't know. So I know like Rachel in Realistic Holistic she had some really great ghosts there at one time, but I don't think they're there anymore. I think they moved on. So this is I can't remember what else I was going to tell you. And I have it all written down here. But I do want to read to you from some of the things, and I've probably already said it all, but I just want to reiterate. Okay, cedar. The magical properties are healing, purification, money, and protection. That's its powers. The magical uses. The smoke of the cedar is purifying. It also cures the predilection to having bad dreams. Twigs of cedar are burned and smoldered or made into incense. To heal head colds, they are placed upon hot rocks in sweat baths for purification by some American Indians. Cedar hung in the home protects it against lightning strikes. A cedar stick carved into 3 prongs is placed prongs up into the ground near the home to protect it from against all evil. A piece of cedar kept in the wallet or purse draws money, and cedar is used in money incenses. Yeah. Cedar is added to love pouches and is burned to induce psychic powers. It's very interesting. Let's see. What did I read about juniper? Okay, the juniper, I just want to say, is used throughout Europe as a protective herb. Juniper also guards against theft. It is probably one of the earliest incenses used by Mediterranean witches. Juniper hung at the door protects against evil forces and persons, and it is burned in exorcism rites. A sprig of the plant protects its wearer against accidents and attacks by wild animals. It also guards against ghosts and sickness. Juniper is added to love mixtures, and the berries are carried to increase male potency. When carried or burned, juniper helps the psychic powers and breaks hexes, curses, and drives off snakes. I like that. Really care for a lot of, I mean, I'm okay with some of the snakes that just eat rodents, but I really don't want the snakes eating or biting. Isn't that right, Badger? Or Norwich? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to wake you up. He's really becoming a fat old man. So, yes! Juniper is very universal, and I can see why. And I did read that several people use juniper in place of cedar, although it's not actually the juniper plant. It's the eastern red cedar that is the replacement for cedar, but it's awfully close. It's awfully close. So, you guys, I just feel so strongly to talk about cedar tonight. I don't know if they're, if somebody's going to watch this like tomorrow. I seem to have a lot of people that watch this in the reruns. So I don't know if this message is for them, but this is a fantastic, fantastic plant. And if you can get a hold of some, I highly recommend it. I mean, again, Christmas is just around the corner, and I don't know if people have cedar Christmas trees, but it's definitely possible, right? So get yourself a little piece of cedar, put it in your wallet, put it in your purse to draw in that money. I had also read that you just needed the bark. I think I'm going to try both. But I'm going to put the bark up in my office. Doesn't really have a smell, so. And I may add a little bit of the bark to my smudge that I use in people's houses. So it'll be great, because when my office is finally finished, which looks like it may be well into October, maybe even November. I don't know. November. That didn't come out very well. Maybe even November. So I'm going to do a big clearing then. You know it. You know it. So, do you guys have any questions about the cedar? Do you have any thoughts? I really am very excited about this, and I'm planning on using the cedar in my purification spell, because I'm like, we are moving into a new season, and I just want to purify the last 50 years. I mean, I just turned 50, so I just want to purify, cleanse, and just keep on trucking. I use the actual bark for protection and the wood for cleansing. Oh, that's a good idea, Catlin. I like that. I was thinking, because I've been making wands, because Lee and I are actually going to start doing some festivals, and I've been like making wands, and I was going to use some cedar branches and see how it feels, like see how the wand feels. I mean, it's not exactly Harry Potter, you know, but so I just thought, well, we'll just see how that goes. But mhm. I think the wood would be really great. I mean, cuz you could use it kind of like Palo Santo. Don't you think? You know. But I'm telling you, if you're in the Atlanta area, there's two new metaphysical stores that I just like discovered. So, pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And fantastic like shops, not like weird, or at least they weren't weird when I went in. There was some really generous people, and I'm telling you, I'm so happy that there's one on the next street from me. It's fantastic. But I like that too, pure intentions. Because that is something you really want to do. You want to make sure you set your intention when you're using any of these materials. Any of your tools, really. You want to make sure you set your intentions. I am so excited to use my new Athame. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. My clearing ritual with my gold, my gold sheen obsidian Athame. I wish you guys could see this really clearly, and see like the little bit of like color that's on it. It's so great. There's quite a few apothecary supplies. Oh my gosh, Vanessa, I'll bet. And there was a great apothecary store that I used to shop at in Denver, and to get things like this. Yes. Oh my gosh. They have fantastic herbs. They're almost always responsibly sourced. I mean, yeah, that's a great place to go, to the apothecary. So, it is really cool looking. Now I want to see a picture of Catlin's. It is in the intention. You're right. Yes. Yes, Catlin, it's all in the intention. How many times have you guys heard me say magic is 85% intention? It's your intention. All of this stuff is to keep us focused. All of the herbs, all of the athames, all the tools that we use is to help us keep focused, because it is our intention. Very important. And that's a good point, Catlin. All right, well, you guys, Catlin, you know, if you want to send me a picture of your athames, I'll post them next week. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, you guys. This has been wonderful. Don't forget, if you're in the Atlanta area, to check out Heart, Soul, and Art in Marietta off of Roswell Road, and Pure Intentions Bree, B-R-E, on Powder Springs Road in Austell. They were absolutely... Oh, I'm sorry. That's also in Marietta. It's just like a few streets down from me, and I'm in Austell. So, but they're wonderful, wonderful stores. I highly recommend them. If you need like more detailed directions, or if you can't find them on Google and you're in the area, just email me at metaphysicalroundtable@gmail.com, and I'll get all the statistics of these stores to you as soon as I can. They're really awesome. They really are. Kelsey, I am so glad that you joined us, and I'm so glad you're feeling better, hun. Oh, well, are you feeling better? Because I haven't stopped with the healing stuff for you. Because today, when I did all of this, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and like make sure I did the light therapy and stuff. I just shined it on your name. I didn't know what else to do. But I still have you on my list, Kelsey. So you let me know how you're doing, okay? And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. I've been slowly posting all of the zodiac readings on Readings at the Round Table. So you guys can go check those out. Hopefully by later tonight, maybe tomorrow. It's taking a long time with my internet connection. I don't know what's going on. But the October's monthly numerology is up. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Kelsey, I'm so glad. Yay. All right. Well, I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And until I see you again, enjoy this new moon in Libra and get out there and make your magic. Bye.